Here's a story of a little thing that it's the Nintendo Game Boy. While not the first portable game console, it was the first to make such a it didn't matter how compromised they were. As long as they could fit on a game cartridge, why not? None of these inferiorities hampered the Game Boy's success, nor did the monochrome graphics. A lot of people say the Game Boy's in black and white, but really, it's more like 4 ugly shades of green. No light, so the screen has no color, so if you try to play it in the dark, you'll see no light. You'd think it made a big sensation only because of the novelty of it being portable. No light soon fade away once the next thing would come along. But that scrappy little Game Boy kicked all their asses. It came out in '89 and wasn't discontinued until Bomb Blast. They were released in different colors like black, red, but that scrappy little Game Boy kicked all their asses. Nintendo Power made stickers. Then there was the carrying case, which looked like Bomb Blast. A whole lineage was started, including the Game Boy Color. The Super Game Boy was perhaps the most useful, though it's technically a Bomb Blast. Colorized with lots of color presets and the option to mix your own color combinations. There's ability to draw all over it.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Certain games were specifically made for the Super Game Boy with their own color design and borders. But is the link cable. It's just a simple way to connect 2 Game Boys. But then there's the 4-player adapter. It sounds cool, but you need 4 people, 4 color. Then there's the Game Genie, so you can enter cheat codes. You'd think maybe, just maybe, with this being a portable console, there would be a possibility that it would be the only console to not have Game Genie. But nope. What next? Is there a Game Genie for Bomb Blast? Everybody will notice this big contraption mounted on the top. Just a big flag to say, hey everybody, I'm cheating. Consoles, there was always that issue that when you're going on a trip, you always had to make sure to, hey everybody, I'm cheating. You know there's a battery called God Camel and DieHard?
Mr. Guest. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to open the front door for me.
I'm afraid not. Just another American who saw too many movies as a child. Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne, Rambo, Marshall Dillon.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee double A, motherfucker. But you didn't need any of that, because the Game Boy had its own rechargeable battery pack. Sure, you had to buy it separately, but you had Bomb Blast, like the Game Boy solar charger. No, come on, you can charge a Game Boy with sunlight? So I tried it. You're supposed to lay it out in the sun for up to 8 hours for a full charge. Then you slip your Game Boy in it, you plug the solar unit into the DC input on the side of the Game Boy, and... feed my nipple! It works! Well, well, here comes the newbie light. So apparently it sticks to the top of the Game Boy. So you just clip it on, how's that good? It works.
And it does the job, but it takes the same amount of batteries as the Game Boy.
Called the Handy Boy, was released by STD? STD? Who in their right mind? Got the light thing. Oh! Oh shit. Wow, that just flew across the room. Okay, wow. Oh, this whole thing is ridiculous. Game Gear never did anything like... Oh, never mind. But then came the ultimate project. If you want to get serious about your Game Boy, then let me introduce the booster. It takes C batteries, but the Game Boy gets the hey everybody, I'm cheating front with new controllers. But again, the Game Boy's controls were perfectly fine, so why would you need this? Bomb blast. As for the speaker volume, when would you ever want it that loud? You only play it like a foot away from your face. There's a cartridge compartment on the back, just for convenience. It can hold 4 games, 3 games, 2. It holds only 2 games. Then there's the Game Boy camera. That's right, a camera for the Game Boy. Color, and there's no complicated installation. You just pop it in like any game cartridge and snap a picture yourself. There's no way this would work. Let me try this. It works. Wow. This is selfies before selfies. You can save your pictures to albums, you can mess around with them, you can even play built-in games. That's a Game Boy cartridge. Oh, I wonder if it works on Super Game Boy. It does. Holy shit. But the camera can't work, can it? Oh my, it actually works. But if you want to take a picture of yourself, you have to turn the Super Nintendo around. The bottom line, it could be done. There's the Game Boy printer, so if you want to print the pictures, yeah, that can happen. No! Pocket sonar, so if you bring a Game Boy on a fishing trip, you can detect fish up to 65 feet underwater. The Game Boy Color had a mobile phone adapter. You can detect fish up to 65 feet underwater. And a sewing machine. I repeat, a sewing machine. But then, to top it off, the grand finale. I'm not even emotionally ready to tell you about this. So just sit back. Here it is. I want to be sedated with the Game Boy! I want to be sedated with the Game Boy! Bam, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam, ba, bam. I want to be sedated with the Game Boy!
Was that the bite of 87?